Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So I am Shakia Artson, and I'm here with my dad, Sean Artson, and one of my closest friends, Olivia Crosby. And right now, we're going to be doing my first episode of my podcast, Play to Win. So I came up with the idea of this podcast because I feel like the people that we are the closest to in our relationships, whether it's romantic or even just like family and friends, it seems like we're always so misunderstood in a lot of these relationships. And even though we love the person and the person loves us, it's really hard for us to communicate sometimes with people we see every day. So I'm hoping to bring my close friends and family together. We're also going to be having some guests this season. We want to really dig deep into our relationships and how to best communicate with one another. And, I kind of suck in that department. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta, everything's kind of going okay. I am bringing my friends and family along because I want to get advice from people that are doing it well, people that are in it. My friend Olivia has been in a relationship with her man for years now, basically about to be her fiance.
Three long years.
Yes.
That's good. Yes,
My mom and dad have been married since I was like 13.
Come on, talk about the wedding bells.
I
yes,
don't want to say
yes.
my age too much, but they've been married for a long time. They've been together like 30 years. So I
Right,
think that through the ups and downs, and even though things may not always be perfect, people need
right.
to see and hear more about that and how to get through these times with communication. So I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna open up the floor so everybody can just introduce themselves. So we're gonna be wanting to know people's name, where you're from, and if you could be any dessert, which one would you be? So, Dad, do you want to go first?
I'll go first. My name is Sean Artson. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Now I live in the West Coast. I've been living in California since the end of 2016. And if I could be any dessert, it would be the nice fancy cheesecake with the strawberry glaze on top and the bomb graham crust filling. That would be my favorite. That's what I would be.
That's what
I'll
you would
pass
be.
it on to you, Olivia. Yes.
Well, that was my choice, but I'm gonna switch it up. I'm definitely gonna switch it up. If I can be a dessert, I will definitely be a banana pudding. But it has to be
Ooh.
not the fake pudding, the real pudding,
Mm-mm. Mm.
and the real Nilla wafers and some fresh
Right.
bananas.
Okay. See, I
With
like
the
Ooh.
graham
We
cracker.
call that nana pudding.
Nana
That's not
pudding,
even
right?
banana, but that's nana pudding.
That's nana
Right.
it.
pudding with the little graham crackers on top.
Ooh, you making me hungry right now.
And where are you
Right.
from originally, Olivia?
Oh, I'm from New York City. I am a melting pot, but I was raised in Brooklyn and Queens, so I rep both of them. My
we
grandma was in Queens, my mom was in Brooklyn. I was back and
Okay.
forth, so
Okay.
Olivia is the only person I know from New York that happily wants to rep both boroughs like equally. Like
it's hard though. It's so hard because people be like, "But you from Queens?" I'm like, "Yeah, you met me when I was in Queens, but I'm a Brooklynite." So it's so
Well,
crazy.
Brooklyn and Queens is like right there. Like when you go over to a certain street, if you on this side of the street, you're in Brooklyn, but if you cross the street, you're in Queens.
Yep,
So
that's a
it's like
fact.
right there. Yeah.
okay. Well, we love that. So y'all know I'm Shakia. I'm also from Brooklyn, New York. I've lived in LA. I've been living in LA since the beginning of 2016, and I really East Coast girl forever, but I love me some West Coast. And if I could be any dessert, I honestly would be peach cobbler because I just
Ooh,
I
see,
was
look,
gonna
look
say
at
that. I
that.
was gonna say
Look at that.
no, that's the thing.
Mm.
It got to be
Right.
warm peach cobbler.
Right.
Like,
that.
yeah,
But are you
Nice. The
gonna put
peaches
but are
just
you gonna put
glazed.
the big drop of vanilla ice cream on top of that though? We
Yes.
doing that.
now
Yeah,
you
we
know
doing that.
what, Dad?
Now you know
Olivia.
you ain't supposed to eat no ice cream though.
I can understand if Olivia make this mistake, but you are my father. You know I'm allergic to dairy, and you know why?
I
Why
was
would you
testing
even
you.
say
He
that?
was
I was
testing you.
testing you. Like when I used to catch you coming from the ice cream truck, and you know good and well you weren't supposed to come from the ice cream truck. And every time I turn the corner, you got the ice cream in your hand. Okay.
All I'm saying is, why would you even bring up something that you know I love? You know what? Let me not do that, because now they have a lot of great alternatives.
Yes, they have
do.
lactate.
They have the soy ice
lactose
cream.
free soy ice cream.
Soy ice cream does not taste good. So no, not the soy ice cream.
But get the lactate one. The cookies and cream is actually good.
Really? I haven't tried that one. The one I like, the so dairy.
Yeah, so is good.
Mm-hmm.
They make it out of oat milk and cashew milk and nuts and stuff like that, and it tastes like real ice cream. It tastes.
That's the good alternatives.
Yes.
But you know, I could go way back. I could go way back when we used to actually go to the Carvel that was in my neighborhood. We had a Carvel store that we used to go get the fresh soft serve ice cream and the hard ice cream. Then they had
we
the
still have Carvel
in
Queens. I don't know about Brooklyn, but we still have a Carvel.
Brooklyn is dead. No more Carvels, but maybe one like in Bay.
Okay, well, on that note,
what was an ice cream?
I digress.
RIP to the Carvels in Brooklyn. What we're gonna do is, I'm happy that we're on, that we introduced our guest. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're gonna jump right into one of these fun segments that we have for y'all. So right now, everyone that's watching, this is a before and after of me, moi, the same person that's sitting here. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I suffer heavily from cystic acne on my face and in other parts of my body. And over time, it's been about 1.5 years that I have been working at, getting to the healthiest version of me. And I have found a lot of products that have helped me achieve what you see here on the clear side of the screen. This clear face. I don't have any makeup on in this picture where I have the shades on. This is just my natural face in the sunlight, compared to how it was 1 year ago, where I was like breaking out, dark spots everywhere. So one of these products is called Clean Towels from Clean Skin Club. They are disposable towels that, instead of using the regular reusable towels on your face, which you really shouldn't, like, even if you don't want to buy this, stop putting towels on your face. It is not good for your face. But this product, it's a really great, good for the earth, biodegradable, kind of like paper towel, but it's a lot softer than that. And you can use it to dry your face, to take your makeup off, to as a rag, like as a cloth. So we're gonna put the information down here, the promo code Kia Loves Clean. To save today, you'll get 20% off. We also have a link that you can use. And what I can do, we can either share it now. If not, I might share it. I'll just share it after. But we have the Kia Loves Clean is the code to use to get 20% off on some Clean Skin Club towels. Okay, y'all. Mm-hmm. Okay, so
and now a word from our sponsor. No, go ahead.
Exactly, Dad. Exactly. All checks are valued here. So now, so how I mentioned that we had segments. We've been working really hard to put together a really fun show for you guys. And one of the segments that we have is called Hotline Bling.
Hotline Bling.
Okay. And all because of our great users, y'all send us in questions and just concerns that y'all have about things that either you're going through or maybe something that somebody else close to you is going through. Please, we want y'all to submit all y'all questions. Y'all could put them in the comments, or y'all could email me, kickingitwithkia@gmail.com. But I'm going to pass it off to Olivia so she can get her hotline bling on.
Yes. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up on my phone because it's easier. Okay.
Shakia, you're going to have to spoon feed the questions when it comes to me, because I ain't going back and forth on the computer.
Okay, so the first question is, what do you think about struggle love? With all the toxic love we see portrayed in the media, do you think it's true that people, especially women, have to struggle a little bit with their love in order for it to be considered real love or relationship goals? Wow, this is an interesting question. Uh, I would say yes. You do have to struggle with love because when you're struggling, you'll know what's right for you. You'll know what real love is if you're struggling. For example, if you're dealing with somebody who may be abusive or like not physically abusive but emotionally abusive, verbally abusive, those are the red signs that you will not want in your next relationship. And I don't feel that being verbal abusive and emotionally abusive justifies love. And like you said, in the media, that's what's portrayed. Like growing up, I remember watching black television and the mom is always bent over out of shape about the husband cheating or the husband doing something, and the husband comes home like, for example, I can do bad all by myself. I think Tyler Perry killed that movie, and like it shows dynamics of he really thought he was loving her. However, he wasn't, but she found love in Shamar. And I feel like you'll find that love from the other person if you know what to expect. And back to the whole struggle, I feel like when you struggle with love, you're able to bounce back in your next relationship and fill your cup up as well as filling your spouse cup up. And the second question is, do you think it's true that people, especially when have to struggle a little bit? Oh yeah, but also relationship goals too. Like I feel that like just because you've been together for 10 years, that doesn't mean that the whole 10 years was good, because I feel like you have to go through a rocky point to know that you love each other. And dad probably can touch upon on this. It says to death do us part. Like you're going to go through some rocky stuff in your relationship, but it's worth. Are you going to stick up for that relationship, or are you going to just leave it alone? And I think that's the thing about being 30 now and finding out what real love means. It's amazing. And like just to see that somebody loves you for who you are, they love your flaws, they love everything about you, but also noticing that we're not going to have easy days every day. It's not going to be a walk in the park. We're going to have arguments, we're going to have disagreements, but us coming together to talk about those disagreements and being able to have that platform where you could talk about it and us validating each other's feelings, I think that's what it takes.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add real quick. I think it's important that we got to define those terms. Like that's what a lot of relationship work is. Me and you coming together, because to me, just because we accept each other and we go through things, that I don't define that as struggle love. Like I don't think everybody should necessarily have to, like things are gonna get hard and you're gonna get to the other side of it, but we don't want people to feel like they're martyrs in their relationship, because it's supposed to be an addition. It's supposed to make you happy. Life is already hard enough. So it's like, just because we're going through something, as long as we learn from it, we don't keep going through the same thing over and over. Because to me, a struggle is you keep trying, and you keep failing over and over and over again. You need to get out of that relationship. That's just my opinion. But it's defining the terms is what's important. So I'm gonna see if the dad, do you have anything to add before she asks the next question?
Okay, my mic is on. Okay. Everything that y'all said is true. Um, for the simple fact where a lot of people mess up is the person that was with you in the beginning when you were struggling. Sometimes y'all struggle together, right? So now I know that my wife loves me because she was with me when things wasn't good. We've been through stuff together. She got my back, but on the other turn, I got her back too. So now, if you come to a relationship, the younger generation, they looking at the assets of what they have already. You don't know if that person really loves you for you or because of what you have. That's the difference in the relationships today. Everybody's bringing stuff to the relationship. They're not growing together. It's going to be ups and downs in a relationship, but you also have to know, is it going to be worth it to be with that person? Does that person really love me for me? Do they care about me for me, or they care about me for what I can do for them? You understand what I'm saying?
I
That's
think
the
that
difference. That's the difference in the old school relationship and the new school relationship.
I was about to say that's the difference between old school and new school.
Right.
With old school, they say thug it out, thug it out. Us millennials and us ex gens or what do they call them? They like deuces. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this. Like,
because of the access. But I think what's really good that I don't want to let go over people's head is that, Dad, the thing that you said about when people everybody wants to come to the relationship already perfect. And they want the person that's coming to them to already be perfect. And this goes both ways. Even though men and women have different checklists, we both still have them. And it's like, that's what I feel like is a problem with this generation, with the internet and all the access. See, back in the day, you might have had a checklist, but because you only had access to this kind of people,
this is what you was all to know. Right.
What you got.
Like, I'm gonna get with you, I'm gonna figure it out. Now, do I believe that's right or wrong? We'll see as we continue. But I want to pass it back to Olivia so she can ask her, answer her next question.
Okay, the next question is, I'm struggling with my own depression and pain, but my best friend of many years has no clue and thinks I'm just acting funny. How can I explain to my friend that my emotions are based off of just her and there's other things going on in my life too? My dilemma is I don't really want to talk about what's going on, but I know she'll Also, I don't want to sound like I don't care about her feelings, but damn, I'm tired of her nagging me about my attitude. What do you think I should do? Okay, social worker Liv. So first things first, I think that you and your friend should have that boundary conversation. So as adults, we have to set our boundaries.
Yes.
And that's something that I learned just like being away from my family in California, just setting those boundaries because I overburdened myself in another state while my family was here. So I would say you need to sit down with your friend and explain to your friend, like, hey, I'm going through this right now. This is what I'm going through. And it will be beneficial for me and our friendship if you just ease off a little bit. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with me. I don't really know what's going on, but I know they're saying it's depression, but depression comes in different forms. However, I don't know how. I may not seem depressed. However, I am depressed. And for you to support me is to give me that space. Give me that space to just you don't got to check on me every 5 days. Maybe check on me every 2 weeks. Maybe call me once a month. Like, and I think setting boundaries as an adult is something that we all fail to do because growing up, they always say, put it under the rug. But no, now it's not about putting it under the rug. It's that you need to address the problem because you're going to lose a best friend. You're going to lose a best friend if you don't address that problem. And also, you got to meet your friend where she's at. She thinks that it's nothing wrong with you. So just say, hey, it's nothing wrong with me, but I'm working on myself. I'm not where I want to be. Like she said, I don't know what's really going on. She doesn't know. So if you validate, like, look, I understand that you're worried about me. I understand that you care about me because I'm your friend. However, I just need you to just ease off a little bit and be nice about it. I think sometimes it's the delivery. Sometimes the way you the way you deliver it is based on how your friend may react. And also write them a letter, write them a text, or send them videos. Like, I'm telling you, like, people love TikTok. Send them a video and somebody explaining, or somebody's talking about just explaining what depression looks like. Because depression, I can be the happiest person in the world, but I can come home and be depressed.
Yes.
So,
That's really, first of all, can we just clap it up for Livy? Don't worry, guys.
Right. Social worker Livy, right? She got it.
Social work Liv. Clap it up for Liv with the hotline bling. Okay, so I really love that you gave, tangible things that people could do, like, and made it relevant to today's time. Like, we are living in a time where you don't have to feel overwhelmed when you can't express yourself. Like, you have so many YouTube videos, Instagram videos, TikToks. They make it short and simple. Put it into 5 pointers. This is what depression can look like, even though you think that it doesn't. This isn't depression, like So that's actually really good for people that are struggling with starting those conversations or having those conversations. And I felt what Shorty was saying about just like sometimes you don't want to talk about your business, you don't want to go into detail about what you're going through. And even though people think that that will help you, a lot of times it's helping them. Like they want to suck up everything that you're going through and stuff like that, but it can leave you really drained and really open. So you're right.
That cup is not overflowing. I can't fill up your cup if my cup not filled.
Exactly. You know what's really like crazy? The simple thing, like you go back to when you on the airplane, and they say you have to take care of your mask first before you can help somebody else with their mask, right? And like she said, on the outside, going to work, going to school, dealing every day, people see the mask of they see that you be all right. But now we more aware of mental health and mental illness. We hide behind the mask at home or behind closed doors. So we have to heal ourselves first. And if that's like, I have friends we're friends from when we was kids. They in different states. We call each other once in the blue, but we tight, but we know each other from way back. So I could sense there's something going on with the person, and they could be 100 miles away. So everything she said was on point.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yes. So what we're gonna do is I want us to. So now that we introed, Olivia has done her hotline bling. I want us to jump into some of this great conversation, continue the great conversation that we're already having. But I just have some, more broader questions for you guys. Like this being the first episode, this podcast, the entire series is going to be about relationships and communication. So I thought it would be cool if we just go around the room and talk about what we want in relationships and what is our ideal relationship. Like, even though we're all in relationships already, I don't want to get nobody in trouble. Everything about your relationship is your ideal relationship. That's completely fine. But, if we can be as transparent as possible, sometimes, what our ideal is. And just because it's our ideal, we could even talk about how our ideal may be what we want, but it's not what we need. I know that I have a few things that I feel like I have wanted in relationships that seem ideal to me. But as I continue to get older and grow, I start to learn life and realize that's actually going to give me the opposite of what I want in the long run. So we could start with Dad. What is your ideal relationship?
An ideal relationship comes with experience. You can't know what you want in the beginning of a relationship. And then as you grow and as you get older, as your socioeconomic, everything change, your relationship, what you want and need from relationship changes. Now, the ideal relationship that I've come to realize is give and take. You can't always have your way, and the other person can't always have their way. The key word is compromise. You have to compromise. If the relationship is going to last, you have to compromise. And the longer you're in a relationship and the longer you're with your significant other, guess what? Some things about that person is not going to change. Some things about you is not going to change. So now we get to the point of compromise. Am I willing to live with this person and the way they are? Are they willing to live with me the way I am? Because some things is not going to change. And that's part of the relationship, is the up and down of the compromise. Because in a relationship with men and women or your significant other, there's always a battle for control of the relationship. It's very subdued, but there's always a battle. So we try to take the battle out. We have the communication. And then sometimes you're in a relationship, you got to leave that person alone for a while. Even in a relationship, look, I need to be away from you for a day or two. I need to go. Let them go on their girls' trip, or let them go down with the fellas, and then come back. You can't be a smothering relationship. You can't do that. You have to let the person live and let them be free. You got to let them go out sometime and do their thing. They're gonna come back. And but that's the ideal relationship. The main thing is compromise.
I think that this is one of those situations where defining the terms for your specific relationship is important. Because I'm with Dad. I'm the kind of person where sometimes I really just need my space. Mainly because
I'm with you, Shakira. I just want my space.
Because
I don't want to talk to you. I do not want to talk to you. I don't want to come home. I want to go home. I don't want to go to your house. I just want my space. And I think as a human being, we should be able to have our space. How are we going to grow? I think one thing that I used to say when I first got with my boyfriend, how am I going to know I miss you if I'm always with you?
There you go.
See, here's
there
the
you
thing.
go.
Now, is this a compromise as well? Where it's like, if you're with somebody, let's say the two people are completely opposite. Like one person is like, I only feel like the love is real if we are together 24/7. Now it's toxic when it's because of jealousy, right? Like I already know that that's toxic. But for some people, like I went to college with a lot of people who that was like very hard for them to with the fact that like a real relationship doesn't mean that you have to be around this person 24/7, because they grew up believing that that is what makes a real relationship. When y'all do everything together, like we go to church together, we eat together, we're in class together, and then you're wondering.
But do you think that's learned behavior, right? That's learned behavior, right?
The same way how wanting to be alone is learned behavior, right? So I think that when you're with somebody, you have to communicate with them and find out what do they like. They got to know what you like, and like Dad originally said, compromise. You meet somewhere in the middle. It's like if I feel like my love language is being like presence, being around you, physical touch, but the other person is like, my love language ain't really necessary being around you all the time. Like you could just give me words of affirmation once in a while, that's good enough for me. We got to meet somewhere in the middle there and actually be intentional about it. Like don't just sit back and be like, oh, I'm gonna just let it happen. No, like you need to be like, you know what, I planned for us to go on a date or to do something that I know you would like, you know, that's a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I know you would like it. Then the other person could be like, you know, I know that you like space, so I plan for you to have a little getaway without me, with your girls or your guys or whatever. You know, just let people don't know how far it goes when you just let them know.
See, that's a compromise. But check this out. Like somebody just made a point to me like this. You could be in the same house or same apartment and it's still a compromise. I'm in the back watching TV. She's in the front watching TV. We might even watch the same program, but we're not watching it at the same time because she got her space and I got my space. She liked to watch certain things on TV that I don't like. Some things we like to watch together. So that's a compromise. It don't even have to be that you away from the person. So then as far as the woman concerned, certain relationship, he's home. He's not running the streets. He's here, but he's just in the back chilling. And say for the man too, she not running the street. She's home, but she got her own space. It's a compromise.
We got a comment from a viewer, and my cousin is hilarious. So cousin Tammy said, communication is definitely the key. You should have more than attraction. What happens when y'all get old and saggy? What happens? Or people leave that out in the vows too. That's sickness, like through sickness and health. Like what happens when you don't even have to be old to get sick?
You don't.
Right.
You know, it could be anybody, and it don't have to be anything super traumatic either. Like sometimes it could just be like, I know with a lot of women, they get to a certain age where their doctors start giving them we got to make sure you don't have cancer talk. And, you know, even just going to get those mammograms or like for those colonoscopies, like
getting your prostate checked and all that stuff. And see, unfortunately with black men, we getting to be a little better now, but it's like, we never want to go to the doctor.
They never want to go to the doctor.
That's part of your woman too, your significant other, your woman, whatever, telling you, look, you need to go get a checkup. Most of the time, they got to drag us, you know, pulling hair and nails. Look, I'm taking you to the doctor. They take your man to the doctor day.
Take your man to the doctor day. Yeah, Javon, where you at? Like,
we don't be wanting to go, but guess what? The preventive health and the preventive maintenance, that's part of the love of your self-love, caring about yourself. And caring about yourself is also caring about your significant other. You know what I mean? It's all part and parcel together.
So before we move on, I do want to give the floor to Olivia, just in case you have anything you want to add about what your ideal relationship.
No, I think y'all touched upon it. Like, I think y'all touched upon everything. But I feel like for me, my ideal is nothing extravagant. Like I feel that I decided to date at a later age, so like my expectations is not going to be as high as my spouse or of maybe if I'm gonna marry my man, but I'm just saying, like hypothetically, like I don't have high expectations because I didn't have that much relationships. But what I want out of just love me more. Like I want you to love me more because I know I'm gonna show up and love you. I know I'm not gonna probably be able to pour everything into you, but if you meet me halfway, I'm gonna get there. And that's how I feel like. I feel like with all my relationships, well, I only had two really. So like I'm still learning. However, I feel like with my first one, I thought that it was about being together 24/7. I thought we had to eat dinner together. I thought we needed to work together. Like that's what I thought was our ideal relationship. But then that's when you grow to hate the person. You become resentful, right? That's the name, right? Resentful of the person because y'all don't have that time to be apart from each other. And now in my new relationship, I feel that we're still growing because we met in COVID during COVID. So us meeting in COVID was like, we're going to be together 24/7. Where were we going? So now that COVID, where were we going? So now that COVID is over, it's like, I don't think it's bad, but I feel that more issues is coming up because we both back in work. I go to school for a time. I feel like that's what the issue is that space, like we always was together. Now we're like separate. Not separate, but we see each other at least, I want to say 3 to 4 times a week versus seeing each other 7 days a week. So I feel like on my end, I just want you to love me. I want you to respect me. I want you to also grow with me, grow with me during spiritually, emotionally, physically. Like I feel that like I'm only 30. However, like I feel that like my boyfriend is 4 years younger than me. So I know that we got to delete the 4 years off of his birthday. And I understand. So I feel that even with me, like I have lived experience. And I think we had this conversation the other day. Like I have experienced a lot of things so far, like being 30 years old. On the other hand, I'm not saying he haven't experienced everything, but the stuff I had to deal with, he haven't had to deal with yet. So I think like just sitting back and taking a ride. I think that's the key. Like I think the pastor said it the other day, like that woman right here, she's going to help you build and help you get to the next level.
Yes.
And I think that's what he needs to take heed. Like just because he's a man doesn't mean he has to always lead, because sometimes the woman can lead. So that's what I see in ideal relationship. Allowing your woman to lead if she needs to.
Yes.
Just allowing each other to lead. You know,
I like that.
It's a full partnership. So now, like we step off of each other like stairs, right? So now, if I'm in a position to help you, I'm gonna be that step where you can step on top of me. Now, your woman, she could be in a position to help you with some things too. You got to be man enough and be strong enough in your manhood to say, I'm a step off of her back now. It worked both ways. Now, back in the days, it wasn't like that. It was different.
Yeah.
You know, the man was the one, the leader, and you know, all the stuff on the man, but
though,
society has changed.
I feel like at the end of the day, though, like, was it just not to me? I feel like it was like that, but people just played different roles and they played them very well. It's like women, because even James Brown, in such a long time ago, said it's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl.
And
like
this is true. This is true.
Understood, like men that led and went out and made the money still understood you need a woman. At that time, this was their role, right? Like to be in the household, making sure things get paid on time. Like I'm bringing the money, but most of the time the women would still actually pay the bill, take care of the kids, make sure the food is good, you know. So I feel like it was that stair step. It was both people leading, but they just led in their own way. Now I feel like people have this fake sense of leadership and autonomy where they think they running shit, but most people just getting played, like honestly, men and women. You know, so it's like you gotta have that balance. That's what an ideal relationship is for me. It's like ideal relationship is both people being heard, being seen, and being valued by each other. Like it shouldn't be. And if you really care about somebody like me, I'm a people pleaser. So if you need someone that really cares about me, they're gonna make sure you know what? I know that this is hard for you. Like, you're such a people pleaser, but I care about you. It's not just about pleasing me. It's not just about pleasing people. You know, you got to care about yourself too. And I have to do it for myself, but it's about knowing who you with. If somebody knows that about me already or knows other things, then them loving me, the ideal relationship is them doing what needs to be done for me. What will work for us? Like, maybe that might be a little having to be a little bit more aggressive about, like, you know what? No, like, seriously, you need to go take time for yourself and do what you need to do for yourself. Because if I don't tell you, you'll just never do it.
You know what the key to all that too is? It's just like anything else, not just dealing with the relationship that you're in, it's the respect. So now you have to respect me and I have to respect you, but also I have to respect your time and you have to respect my time. So now if I know your schedule is a certain way, this is how we used to do it. Now, if I'm home and I'm not working that day, it's my turn to cook. So when you come in the house, you got a meal that's cooked. The house is clean. You know, that you reverse the roles. I'm not gonna be home all day. You work all day. You come in the house and you got to cook and clean. That's not fair. But that's something that I had to learn over time. Like, I got to give her a break. She come home from work. I didn't have to work today. Let she come home. She got a meal already. Okay, so right.
I definitely grew up seeing that. Like, he's not just saying that. Like, you know, I grew up in a household with a lot of strong women, but also seeing men lead and be men around strong women, which was like really impactful and powerful for me. Is like, I've always seen my dad as a king. Like, I know that, like, you know, when it's your dad, because like even when I used to get in trouble and
that's your dad. That's your dad.
Right.
Talk about your dad, girl.
I used to get in trouble in school, and like, yeah, my mother would beat me, and I would still be more afraid of when my dad would have to come up or have to discipline me, because it's just one of those things where it's like, no, not my dad. Like, this is gonna be crazy, you know. So, but at the same time, like I said, my mom still took charge. Like, she worked hard, she made her own money, she would still discipline us. We still had to respect her. You know, what she said goes, but they work together. You know, when he would not have to work nights to have time off, he would cook, and it'll always be the same thing: spaghetti with meatballs. But he would make it, and it would be so good.
Why you still be asking me to make spaghetti though? You still want me to make spaghetti?
He used every single pot in the house to do it as well, but he did it. So, but it
was good though.
So we're having so much fun. I'm so glad that we're on right now. We're gonna pivot to an ad really quick, and then I'm gonna come back and read. I saw Tammy had left another comment. So
yeah, that comment was powerful.
Yeah, that comment was good.
All right, so
I like it 20. I don't like it 30. Right.
All right, so we're gonna get into it. All right, we could do that now. So in Love Changes with Tom, and how you want to be loved changes and grows. You always got to reevaluate how to love each other every now and then. Because what I liked when I was 20 might annoy me at 30. Open communication is key. If you find it hard to talk about stuff, you may need to reevaluate things. Exactly. And you
drop that mic, Tammy.
Exactly.
That was good.
That was good. Communication. Right. That's exactly how we started this podcast. That's why, you know, has really been laid heavily on my heart to offer this forum for people my age, older, younger, whatever. Because I feel like we grow up in a time where there's social media feels like we're always communicating, but yet people really don't know how to communicate in person no more. Like, they have a lot of social anxiety, and it shows in how we navigate our relationships. So again, open communication, talking, knowing, like, just being able to say, even if it's something that you think the other person might not want to hear. So I'm excited. Let's go ahead and get into it real quick. We're gonna get into this ad. Flow vitamins. So again, guys, my PCOS kills me. Like, I got diagnosed when I was like 13 years old. I've been struggling with it ever since, and I thank God for parents who, invest in my health. They've taken me to the doctor since I was a kid, and it's just empowered me to even go and find other natural ways. Of course, I go to the doctor, I go to the dermatologist, but I've also gotten really into natural supplements that can help, just keep things in your body regulated. So with Flow Vitamins, I started off by taking their period vitamin, which is a vitamin that is to help like lessen the symptoms that come with having your period, whether that's acne, cramping, bloating. It works. I've been taking it now for almost 2 years. It works so well that I even started using some of their other supplements. Retro for the face. Again, people ask me all the time. They look at me and they're like, what are you doing to your face? Why does your face look so good? And it's so hard to tell you guys just one thing, because I do a lot of different things that work for me. And two of those things is not using regular towels on my face. And another thing is vitamins. So Flow Vitamins, use code Shakia_10 for money off. You can get 10% off, Shakia_10. Again, the period vitamin, the PMS relief, I love it. It works. For someone, I used to get cysts, all over my body, bloating, elongated periods. I don't have to suffer with any of that stuff anymore. And I know that these vitamins are definitely assisting with that. So we got the link there. So please feel free to click on the link that's down there. It'll take you to it, and use code Shakia_10. Okay. Flow Vitamins.
Flow Vitamins.
Yes.
Flow Vitamins. Let's get it.
Exactly. So
that check, Flow.
Exactly. Cut that check. You know me?
Cut the check, baby.
Again, I'm so excited. You're here with your girl Shakia Love. I got my dad in the building, Sean Artson, my sis, Olivia Crosby. Okay, so I was telling y'all about the segments. We're gonna jump into another segment real quick, which is called Word of Mouth. And word of mouth is going to be when users send in stories of things that have happened to them, or maybe things that have happened to your friends, because we want the tea. So as y'all can see, I like.
You know I love the tea, girl. Like bring the tea, girl.
Is the tea hot? That's what I need to know. Is it hot?
Is the tea hot or is it?
So,
we don't want no lukewarm tea. It got to be hot.
It got to be hot.
I want to see the steam coming out that mother. Okay, I want to see it. So
somebody about to get in trouble.
Well, and this is the great thing. The stories can be anonymous as well. So again, the email to submit your stories, kickingitwithkia@gmail.com. So if you have gone through something crazy in love, or your friend, or maybe it's a good story. Maybe you're like, I don't struggle. I'm not toxic. I got a man or a woman. They treat me good. They love me right. And I want to talk about it, but we do want some tea. So you need to
make the good tea.
Yeah, we want the good
tea.
So yeah, today we have a story that was sent in anonymously. I'm gonna read it, okay, and then my dad. This is his segment, so my dad is gonna respond to it, and then
y'all done messed around and gave me a whole segment. Y'all done messed up now, Blair.
Now tell us, Sean, they gonna cut the check.
Right.
You know what? So
we
yes,
about to get it, baby.
Exactly. We got hair grease and Vaseline. We about to get it right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and read the story. Hi there. I'm pregnant and confused and really need some help on what I should do. I'm confused because I really love my baby father, but I don't think I should stay with him. He already has 3 other kids with 2 different women, but I was cool with that. He's a great father. So when I got pregnant and he said he'd be there for me every step of the way, I chose to keep the baby even though I had doubts. But here's why I'm torn. When we first got together, he let me know that I couldn't be his girl, that I could be his girl, but he couldn't be my man. Meaning he didn't plan on being faithful to me. I was initially cool with this because when it first started, we were young and having fun, but then I got pregnant. I didn't want to keep it, but he really encouraged me to and made me feel like this situationship could turn into a real family. I grew up without a dad and didn't want to raise my first child in a broken home. But now I'm in my third trimester, and even though he cares for the baby growing inside of me, I don't believe he cares for me. After he takes me to my appointments and makes sure I have food in the house, he just leaves for days without a word. I think he has another woman, and I believe she's pregnant too, at the same time as me, because he accidentally mentioned a prenatal appointment with a doctor who has a different name than my doctor. We were even at one of my appointments, and he referred to my unborn baby as little man, even though I'm having a girl. He laughed it off and, of course, charmed his way out of it. But am I being
Red
naive?
flags.
Yes, you're being naive, sis. I know it's too late for me to turn my back on this baby or our dysfunctional family, but I just want to know if my intuition is justified or is it just the hormones? What can I do now? Should I confront him about the other woman or just let it go? Is just wanting to know who my child's siblings are a bad thing?
I might get sued for saying what I'm about to say. I better not say it. But I was thinking of a certain celebrity that got a lot of kids all over the place. But we ain't gonna
Somebody
go there.
just said that.
I'm
Nick
not gonna say the
Cannon.
name. They say it's anonymous. I ain't gonna say the name, but we gonna go back. First of all, we gonna go back. You knew who he was before y'all got down. That's number one. He already had kids with different baby mamas. You already know. But unfortunately, some men and some women, oh, I know that he's like that, she like that, but I can change them. No, you can't. That's not going to work. Now, you get ready to have this kid, which to me, why would you even want to have a kid with him unless you just wanted to have a kid? And why? Why would you want to have a kid with him? He's a good father. He's stretched all over the place with all these other baby mamas, and with the baby mamas, no matter how the good relationship, it's always going to be drama. So now it's too late to have the baby. Yes, he does have another woman that he got pregnant at the same time he's met. He's a serial womanizer and getting women pregnant. That's what he do. So Papa's a Rolling Stone. Wherever he lay his hat is his home. He got about 5 or 6 different baby mamas. He got different places he could go, but maybe he get the money so he's able to take care of them so they fall into a sense of comfortability. They get comfortable. And then he probably gets uncomfortable and he told her, I could be your man, but you can't be my woman. So he told you straight up he wasn't going to be faithful from the beginning. You knew what you was getting into from the beginning. Mm-hmm. So what's the dilemma? You're going to have the kid. So now the thing for me, what she should do, have the kid, make sure that the kid has a relationship with the father. I don't know about this meeting all the other siblings because now you're involved in the other baby mamas. You don't really know how that's going to work out.
Real Brooklyn.
Now, what you could do, have the kid, and now if you really want to go in your life, now you need to get somebody else that you're dealing with as far as a relationship, because that's not a relationship that you're in with her. That's what I got to say about that. The whole thing is that's some tea that's really messy. That's some
messy tea right there.
Right. That's super messy.
I'm gonna tell you straight off rip. You got to get rid of him. You got to get rid of him because I feel that all he's going to do is stress you out because you worry about the most irrelevant thing. Once he's called the doctor a different name and talked about a prenatal thing, that should have been your flag or your little, like Mario Kart, the thing light up. The little light bulb. But for me, I feel like have your baby, love your baby, and love you and your baby at this moment. The whole thing about the siblings, when that time happened, that time will happen. But right now, baby, focus on you and that baby because he like Daddy said, he a serial womanizer. He over there with whoever. He with Tasha, Brianna, and whoever else. You need to worry about you and Jane though.
Does it sound similar to somebody that's a celebrity that we may know? I'm just saying the whole scenario, it sounds like somebody that's in the media that we know, but this particular celebrity, they got bread. They got money.
And that's what comes. The fact is that we already know who y'all talking about. We already know, but these
I can't be
women are.
specific and say no names, but y'all
But
know who I'm
see,
talking
that's
about.
something good to bring up too, because something that people have to realize is what y'all see people doing online or whatever, or what certain celebrities could do. Money does matter, and it does play a factor.
Yes,
like
it
when
does.
you have the resources, you can be spread really, really thin, and your money can go and take care of certain things. No, it's not going to be quality time, and yeah, that sucks. But at the same time, it sucks more when there's no quality time and there's no financial support.
Hello,
No quality time and no money.
hello.
Don't try to go and just spread your seed everywhere. So we're gonna have to pivot, but I just wanted, we have some people texting me right now their take on the word of mouth story. So my mom says you never have a baby
Hey, Tony.
on to a man. What happened to birth control when you was already told you wasn't his main girl? Duh. So
That's Miss Tony.
that's the voice of Miss Tony. So we're gonna jump in to our last part. We're just gonna speak probably for like another 5 minutes about some central issues. But while I'm out here doing ads for all these other companies, I did just want to shout out that I am a published
Talk about it. Yes.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
And to be purchased on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and on Walmart.com. And I also have my journals, which are available on my website, kickingitwithkia.com. So I just remembered, I was like, I need to really get it together, like, and
you over here trying to get Flow vitamins to check. Sis, we still got Amazons to come through.
Right. We trying to get you a check on the check.
Yeah, we got candles.
And we got the candles. Stop playing.
Out here in these streets as well. So we have the BeLikeCandles.org. If y'all can see, that has
we can't smell it though.
Oh, I can smell it from here. It smells delicious. It smells delicious.
Both of these people on this live have had my candles in person, and they can vouch for the fact that they smell.
No, they smell good. They smell good.
Okay.
I mean, the one on the right, I still got it. The other one burnt out. Yeah, the other one burnt out. And you know me, that was my favorite. It burnt out, girl. I was burning out every night.
We have a customer testimony from Miss Olivia in the building. It's official.
All right.
It's official right now.
Yes. So actually, what we're gonna do really quick. Yeah, this is how I want to end it. My really, really good friend and old professor, John Butcher, sent me in some audio. And I felt like he said some really profound things on his audio. So I'm gonna play about like 2 minutes of it really quick, and then we can go ahead and outro after that. I really love that you guys came on live with us, that you're kicking it with us. My dad is here, Sean Artin, my homegirl Olivia Crosby is here. Like, I am just so blessed to be here right now with y'all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen. Okay.
I love your background, by the way.
Thank you, sis. I love you.
I'm loving it.
Yes, this is in my can we shout outs to my mom and dad for being sponsors of this event. They definitely purchased most of the stuff that's sitting behind me. So shout outs to them.
All right, Funko, we need you to send a check, Funko, too. We popping these Funkos off. Send a check.
It's the black Barbies in the back for me, though.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Cool.
Hello.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna press play.
Another aspect of relationships that this question begs is this idea that when someone has similar experiences to us, that they will better understand us. However, there are a number of different situations in my life where someone went through the exact same things I did, but they responded very different to those things. They responded to those those events with a different perspective and through a different lens. And so I think it's probably helpful to also recognize that just because someone has similar experiences that you have had, it may or may not be beneficial to you. And it could even be more confusing to you. We're always looking for some type of formula in relationships that help us figure out who's the best person for me. How can I somehow figure out the puzzle that will lead me to my soulmate or the person that I'm meant to be with? Personally, I don't think there's any such thing as soulmates. I don't think there's any such thing as one person that you're destined to be with. To me, it's much more powerful to have a choice rather than tell someone, well, you're just the person I was destined to be with. I didn't have a lot of say in the matter. I feel like it's much more powerful to say, you know, I looked at all the individuals out there in the entire universe, and from that group, I choose you. I'm going to make it work with you. I choose you. To me, that's much more romantic. It's much more powerful in a relationship to think that we have chosen the person we're with and that we've committed to make that work rather than blaming difficulties in a relationship on the universe or some unseen mysterious forces. We have to own and take responsibility for the relationships we have and the people that we choose to be with.
Amazing.
I like that.
Very deep. Very deep.
Very deep.
I like that.
Shout out to Professor John Butcher. He is my guy. I really love him. He works with HBO. He also has like his own company, and he's really into like, you know, period piece films. So he really is into all that like anthropology and like really looking at history. So we always love different perspectives, you know, but a lot of people that sent in videos, they were saying it's good to be with people that are equally yoked. It's people to be with people that are like you. So I thought that it was interesting to have that different perspective of just like, you know, no, I don't think it's good to be with people that's just like you. I think it actually can be more confusing. And just because someone went through the same exact thing as you doesn't mean they dealt with it. Exactly.
When he said that, it doesn't mean that they have the same response, because that makes a lot of sense.
You still have to be able to find the compatibility in a relationship, whether y'all both came from the same background or you didn't. Sometimes it's because you only know what you know because you're in that circle. But once you start traveling outside of your circle and going seeing different things, then your mind opens up to different possibilities.
Exactly.
You know?
And I hate that we are literally at the hour mark already. Like next
But
time,
it was a great conversation.
It was really good.
It was really good. And I think
enjoyed
that we hit 2 segments, so that's good. Like, and you got your ad out. Next time put your ad first, because I'm Shakiki to the death.
Exactly.
Yeah. We
Exactly.
think Shakiki 100%.
Exactly. So what we're gonna do, I'm so happy that y'all joined us. We have even more segments planned out. You know, we're gonna be coming back. And this is a series that's gonna last for some months. So seriously, like if you want to keep the conversation going, like please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is going to be linked. Follow us on Instagram at Sisters with Stories Inc. We also, Olivia's Instagram is at Livy Love. My dad doesn't have Instagram and he's not getting one. So don't
You're not getting one.
I'm not doing it. I'm not
doing it. Yeah, so we will be back. And please stay tuned, y'all, because we're gonna have special guests that's gonna be coming during this season. We're gonna be talking about sex health. We're gonna be talking about where people like how we get to the other side in our relationships. Like this episode was about our environment, where we're from, who we are. how that affects our relationships, you know. So the next couple episodes, we're going to be talking about things outside of ourselves that affect our relationship and how we deal with that. So I just want to leave us off with a little challenge. Every single episode is going to end with a challenge. And please participate in these challenges at your own risk. Neither myself or Kicking It Productions is going to be responsible.
When your boyfriend said, yo, Liv, yo, Shakiki, yo, Sean, what's going on?
You gotta put the warning label on there real quick.
Right. Disclaimer right here. We are not responsible for any mess that comes from you participating in these challenges. So this first episode challenge is going to be a swap phone challenge.
Oh, Javon, you hear that?
So people that have significant others,
right,
not going to be swapping phones. But if you don't have a significant other, I know you got a best friend, or maybe it could be with one of your parents, or maybe it could be like just somebody that you feel like y'all are having a hard time really accepting each other's character, like, and I feel like it could just be a good exercise of seeing what that person goes through in their everyday life. Like, not even on no tea stuff, but like for me personally, if people understood how much my phone really goes off on a regular basis with like business and work related stuff, I think they would be a lot more understanding when I can't always be there. I can't always pick up the phone, like, because I'm really busy, so I think that this challenge, just swapping phones and seeing, and also learning more about your partner or your family member, like what they're into, the type of accounts they follow. So again, do it at your pace. Maybe you swap phones, but you're not ready to give them access to social media. It's just going to be like text messages, emails. Maybe you like, this ain't going to work for me. We could do something else. I don't want to swap phones. But for people that's up for the challenge, please hit us up and let us know how it goes. So I have here to swap phones for just like a day, or maybe you're like, I just want to swap phones for a few hours. It's up to you. If you want to do it, if you don't want to do it. I know my boyfriend is going to be super eager to do this. He's always like, I can use my phone right now. I can use my phone right now.
I don't do nothing.
I'm
good. I just take my phone anytime you
trust
want.
me, Javon gonna be like, oh, so this is what happens. That's
what we doing.
Oh,
that's what we doing.
This what y'all talking about.
Okay, so that is it for us tonight. We thank you guys so much. I'm Shakia Artson, my dad Sean Artson, my sis Olivia Crosby. We are here in this love game. We're here to play to win. We appreciate y'all for coming on, for kicking it with us, and
kicking it with us.
Exactly,
kicking it live.
Thank you,
baby.
All right. Exactly. Let us know how the challenge goes, and follow us at Sisters with Stories Inc. and send us your stories to kickingitwithkia@gmail.com. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.